Did someone order big voluptuous curl? Okay, if big voluminous voluptuous curl is calling your name, you are going to love this Vivian by Style Unveiled, which is Wig USA's heat-friendly collection. Vivian has all the curl and more, and the length. So my waist is right here. It almost goes to my waist. It's really, really long. So, but at the same time, it's low density. This is the Vivian version in the medical wig. So really interesting cap construction that I will show you in just a moment. Very, very comfortable cap. However, fitting my small head quite nicely. A little bit of stretch in there. So it's considered to be average, but it's definitely on, I think, falling on the smaller side of average, which, you know, a lot of hand-tied caps do. So this wig was provided by Wigs USA and is available for purchase at Shirley's Wig Shop. Shirley also has a really great private Facebook group called Shirley's Wig Shop. Here's looking at you, kid. I will also put a link below for you to purchase the wig as well. So, okay, so the Style Unveiled collection for Wigs USA is, I think it's just Wig USA. I think I said Wigs. Wig USA is their heat-friendly collection. So these are heat-friendly fibers. They have them listed as being heat-friendly up to 360 degrees. That is what they have on their website. I usually use 280 to 300 on heat-friendly fibers. So, you know, so I suppose if you wanted to use heat, you could go through and maybe calm these curls down. You could add more curl to the top if you wanted the curl going all the way up, you know, to the top. The layers on the top are just slightly shorter, but so she has a lot of layers, you know, going throughout. A little bit of a bang layer, you know, shorter layer up here around the face. And with that being said, I think you could also cut in a bang if you wanted to cut in a bang on her. So, but playing around with her with styling at the end of the video should be really, really fun. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have here. This lace front is monofilament lace. I'm just trying to get a hold of the hair. I know I'm pulling it up a little bit. And it is an ear-to-ear lace front. So we have a polyurethane ear tab, silicone, whatever you want to call it. And then we have lace from the top of that ear tab all the way around to the other top of the ear tab. So basically an ear-to-ear lace. The lace is going down to here, going down to here. So, you know, full lace front all the way over. And then the top of it is hand tied. So that means you can put your part wherever you want to. You can part it on the right, on the left, in the middle, wherever you would like to place your part. I sort of already showed you the coverage of the ear tabs, but I'll show you that again. I've got good coverage there. It's fitting me very nicely ear to ear. Again, that's why I'm saying this cap is fitting a bit smaller because I'm 11 ear to ear and it's fitting me pretty perfect. So, you know, if you are larger ear to ear, average is 12 inches ear to ear. So that would give you a half an inch more, you know, on each side than what I have. And so you might need to make sure that your color, the color you choose matches your bio hair. If you have bio hair, that might show because you might not have as good a coverage. So, and then, like I said, there's a little stretch to the cap. And so I think this would definitely fit average and just above average as well. But I think when you're going up into large circumferences, I think it might be a little bit tight and a little short ear to ear. So her measurements, she has an overall measurement of 21.5 inches. She has an 8-inch layer here in the front. That's where I was saying you could probably put in a bang. Sides are 17.75 inches. Nape is also 17 inches. So very, very long, and then the curls spring up. So, you know, if you were to go and straighten this, it would be pretty long. So, which you certainly could do. And then weight is 6.6 ounces. So let me show you this medical cap, because it's very soft. It really, really clings to your head. Like when I go to take it off, it pulls my wig cap off because all of the polyurethane on the inside is really, you know, gripping my head, which I love. So if you particularly, if you are missing all of your hair, or your hair is very sparse, or if you shave your head, you know, because of your hair loss, you're going to get really good grip with this one. So here is that ear to ear lace front, which is monofilament lace. You can see it's a little bit thicker there. Then the poly ear tabs on either side, and they do have a metal stay in there. And then the top here is, it is double layered, and it is hand tied on the top. So the knots on a hand-tied top are just going to be a little bit larger, but I think these are very nicely done. But you'll see a difference between the knots on the mono and the knots on the top. So, okay, and then we go into this hand-tied silicone-lined cap. So you see, this is what makes this a true medical cap. This is a cap I'm typically more used to seeing on a human hair wig. So great grip, little bit of stretch, like I said, there is some stretch to it. And then we have a poly tab here on the nape as well. So then that is really sticking to my nape. It's just a super secure cap when you get it on. And Velcro adjusters. Now, one thing I did notice is because that poly is over that entire portion of the nape, that's as far as your adjusters are going to go in. So it would have been nice if maybe the poly strip was just along the bottom. It is just whip stitched in there. If you know what you're doing, you could maybe change that. So if you need to bring your adjusters in, but yeah, that's as far as those adjusters are going to go. And then, like I said, these are the Style Unveiled heat-friendly synthetic fibers. Back on, I don't think I've even mentioned the color. I just realized all throughout the video, other than I will put it in writing so you'll see it, but I haven't even said it. So it's H06/30. So it's a 630, a brunette, you know, a 6 brunette with a 30 highlight going through it. So it's got the auburn going through it. So their description of H0630 is a medium brown plus russet. So brown plus red. So you will see in, you know, that lighting, you can see the dimension there with the reddish. It's kind of more of a reddish brown versus the medium brown, dark, like it's a medium brown that's on the darker side. A 6 is right before we get to dark brown. So darker medium brown. And of course, I'll show it to you in all sorts of lighting so you can see the red usually really pops when we go outside, so. Again, there's the knots. You can see some of that russet going right through there. Beautiful color for fall. In the light of my patio door. See that red popping? Okay, so here we are under my patio cover. You can see that red right there by the face. See it up here. You can step into the sun. You can also see the part out here. Ooh, look at that pretty red brown. So one thing to remember is that you are going to want to be gently combing through this one throughout the day because these are heat-friendly fibers. This one is long. I'm not finding that it's tangling, you know, too badly, but over time, I mean, sometimes with a long heat-friendly, there's a little bit of tangling at the nape. Sometimes with a heat-friendly wig, you may have to heat treat, you know, your nape the first day. So after you wear, I mean, I'm just being honest with you, you know, it's going to rub on fabrics no matter what you're wearing, right? Because it's super long. So you just want to make sure you're keeping it combed out. Try to keep those frizzies to a minimum, and then heat treat your ends initially, and then you can go in if you need to and heat treat the entire, you know, recurl the entire piece if you need to. So, okay. So with this, even though she has a lot of hair, she is still a pretty light density, so I think I'm seeing, like, I guess that's lace I'm seeing right there. I don't know, that's something I would be mindful of if I tucked it behind the ears. So, okay, so let me grab my glasses. They're a little far away. Glasses go on very easily, no problem. A headband would probably be really nice on her because if you just need to get this hair out of your face, you know. And you could also do a headband with a low pony that's very pretty. So our side was 17.75, but our front is 8 inches. So you could pull the sides back. Again, be mindful of these ear tabs. This 8 inch is gonna wanna come down in front of those, which is kind of a good thing because there is a little bit, you know, this is a budget-friendly wig, so there is a little bit of kind of that polyurethane showing there. So I would definitely, you know, take advantage of your sides here to help cover that if you pull it up, you know, half up, half down. But look how gorgeous that is. Wow. And then, of course, ponytail. That 8 inch layer is going to want to come out again. But wow, gorgeous. I think I would tend to want to wear this one up in a ponytail just because it's a lot like on my neck and stuff, you know. So, but you could also do updos and all kinds of stuff. You could, you know, pull the hair off of that lace front. So really, really pretty. Lots of styling potential with all of this hair, and with it being heat friendly, of course, you can change the style as well. So I want to thank Wig USA for sending this wig to review for you all. Like I said, it is available at Shirley's Wig Shop, and there will be a link to purchase down in the description box below. Thanks so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and until next time, don't forget, you're absolutely beautiful. Bye-bye.